G'day folks, welcome to this focus scenario preview of Scenario 3 Hold Your Position at All Costs from the forthcoming title Race for Bastogne, part of the Grand Tactical Series and currently on pre-order on MMP's website and very close to approaching its target. This is designed by Joe Chacon with art by Nicolas Escabi. So this is a 48-hour scenario. It begins on the night turn of the 15th of December 1944 and runs through until the night turn on the 17th of December. Now the Germans are of course on the attack in this scenario and they're focused on crossing the Clerf River, which is this blue line that runs sort of near Clairvaux and down along here. They haven't got far to go, but timing is key. It is a race to this river, and it's really a matter of not if but when they cross this river. If they do it quick, I'll just kind of go through the victory conditions. If they can do this before the 1100 turn on the 17th of December, they win the scenario. If they reach it on the 1100 turn, it's a draw, and any time thereafter becomes an American victory. So this river here and these roads to the river are going to be critical. And to do so, as you can see scattered throughout this map, I'll zoom in just a moment, but you have this dispersed American defensive positions, a few of them under entrenchments in Hosingen. You have some minefields up in the north here, a lot of improved positions, improved infantry in Clairvaux. You also have a lot of American armoured units behind the lines under this no activation marker. And these will become active throughout the scenario. The Americans receive a small number of reinforcements and the activation of those units, whilst the Germans receive a decent number of reinforcements coming on from the east and pushing across the river, across the ferries, and trying to use these roads as rapidly as possible. So the Germans really have this desperate need to clear out those, certainly the front line of American defenders, clear those roads, get things moving. Let's zoom in and take a closer look at the map. And just before I do so, take note of the main roads. There is one coming down through here. There's one in the north, through Clairvaux. There's this trail. There's a second one branching off to the south, crossing over here. This will need to cross a river here. A third one along here out of Hosingen. And then there's a road to Constum in the south, which doesn't really cross over to the west. It's possible for units to link up across this wooded terrain here, but I'm already thinking that well, it may be viable, but there are three main German Kampfgruppen active at the start, and there are in effect three main roads leading towards Wiltz, so that's the main path they're going to follow. Let's zoom in and have a look. Okay. So starting up in the north, and we have the 2nd Panzer Division, mainly in this area. They set up within 2 hexes of 8509. There's a minefield in their path on that northern road, so I've set up some pioneers. There's a bit of a flexible setup here, but I'll explain sort of what I've done. Set up some pioneers in the north to move into that minefield and clear it to enable these reinforcements to rush through on this road. And then we have the bulk of the infantry, 8 steps set up in this hex. They're going to skirt around to the south and then link up and drive on Marnach up here, and then clear this road and head to the north. So they're going to try and drive towards Clairvaux and maybe secure that northern road. Then, slightly to the south, we have this part of the 26th Volksgrenadier Division. They are Grenadier Regiment 77. There's also to their south Fusilier Regiment 39. So the Grenadier Regiment 37 is tasked with clearing out Hosingen, and they'll be helped by Fusilier Regiment 39, clearing out the southern. These are entrenched Allied defenders. They are unarmoured, but they are in a town hex here. These guys are out in the open, but being entrenched makes them armoured. So they're going to be quite difficult. It's going to have to be a case of building up those cohesion hits and reducing them. So it's a net -3 modifier around here. So it's -2 for the entrenched, -2 for the town, +1 for their innate modifier. So that's going to be tough to crack. The infantry out in the open is a net -2, but again, these are both armoured targets. So this is going to be difficult. I'm really going to focus my efforts from both of these regiments on these two hexes, trying to eliminate these two defenders very quickly. We have some mortars in the area, and some of these mortars, such as these over here, have a range of 6, so they can potentially eliminate these rear guards, 0-step units. There's this AA gun at the back here, could potentially suppress, again, their armoured targets and disrupt them, and then bring the rest of the mortars forward. And then, as I said, this road through Hosingen leads out to the west, down towards this river here. And as I mentioned, there is this path to the south here. There is this option through Kornslum. There is just the one infantry in an improved position. They've set up in a town, so -1 modifier, -1 for the IP is -2. I was mainly worried about crossing through this wooded terrain here, so they'd have to get down here, not too hard, not much of an obstacle, but then infantry in column is, I think, 2 movement points to cross these woods. They could link up here. It's possible, but certainly I think Hosingen is my main priority. Once these reinforcements come on, so they'll cross this ferry here, they will also cross this ferry here, they can link up with this path and follow this, and they'll head towards Hosingen. They can, again, take a southern route, link up this road. I think I'll see what happens. Yeah, so this is again, a lot of clear terrain on this. Clear and wooded terrain really dominates. Yeah, so that'll give you a sense of how I plan to play this out. Now, the Americans are relatively passive in their defence, under a lot of improved positions and entrenchments that they really don't want to leave. They do have a few small forces which they may want to manoeuvre around. I think I'll consider that as the situation develops. But for the most part, it's really the Germans with the initiative, the Germans driving, and somehow the Americans trying to hold on. Once these armoured units get, armoured and AT units become released, they'll have a bit more flexibility to respond, but they're going to really need to pick their positions carefully. Alright, so I'm going to schedule a playthrough of this. If you're interested, keep it in mind and come along and join and ask any questions and have a look at how it all plays out.